I am 73 years old, and I am about to tell you something that still makes people uncomfortable. 4 years ago at 69, I walked away from a marriage that had lasted most of my adult life. 41 years. I already know what some of you are thinking. Why now? Why so late? Why not just finish what you started? From the outside, it probably looked reckless. From the inside, it felt like oxygen.
Before I tell you why I left, I need to tell you why I stayed. Because people love the ending, but they never ask about the years you spend disappearing quietly. I married my husband, Robert, in 1981. I was 28. We lived in a modest suburb outside St. Louis. He was responsible, reliable, approved of. Everyone said I was lucky. I believed that love was supposed to be sensible. The unhappiness didn't arrive with shouting or slammed doors. It arrived as silence. Robert wasn't cruel. He just didn't notice me, didn't ask what I thought, didn't wonder what I wanted. Decisions were made, and I adapted where we lived, how money was handled, how our lives were shaped. When I pushed back, even gently, I was told I was overthinking. Eventually, I stopped pushing. I remember telling him once that I wanted to take art classes. I had always loved painting. He chuckled, not meanly, just enough to make me feel foolish. At our age, what for? So I folded that dream up and put it away. Like I did with many others. Then we had children, 2 sons. And staying suddenly felt like responsibility instead of fear. I told myself I was doing the right thing. I told myself love wasn't supposed to feel exciting forever. I told myself this was adulthood. Years passed. We functioned beautifully. We spoke politely. We shared meals. We slept side by side like strangers who knew each other's schedules. People admired us. Inside the house, there was nothing to admire. When the kids left home, the noise left with them, and what remained was impossible to ignore. By then, I had new reasons to stay. I was in my 60s. I hadn't worked full-time in years. Our lives were tangled together like roots. And then my body betrayed me. There was a routine scan. Until it wasn't. Cancer, early treatable, manageable. They said all the right things. But lying awake at night, all I could think was this: if this is the end, I never actually chose my life. The surgery went well. Recovery was slow. I remember sitting in a hospital room, sore and scared, while my husband sat across from me, scrolling on his phone, not holding my hand, not asking how I felt. And something inside me finally became very still. I realized I didn't want to survive just to return to the same quiet erasure. At 69, I asked for a divorce. There was no screaming, just confusion. But we've built a whole life, he said. Yes, I answered. And I've been alone inside it. The divorce was messy. Friends took sides. Family questioned my sanity. My sister told me I was being dramatic. My neighbors said, at your age. But when I moved into my own small apartment at 70, something unexpected happened. I didn't collapse. I learned how to be with myself. I remembered that I had opinions, that I liked quiet mornings, that I still had curiosity. I am 73 now. My life is smaller, but it is mine. Some nights are lonely, but no night feels empty. And here is what no one tells you. The regret isn't leaving. The regret is how long you convince yourself to stay. If you are listening to this and feeling that familiar heaviness, that sense of being invisible in your own life, I want you to hear this clearly. You are not too old. You are not foolish. And it is not too late. Before you go, I want to ask you something simple. What is one fear, just one word, that has kept you where you are longer than it should have? Sometimes naming it is how freedom begins.